How to optimize health and performance through feeding is one aspect of the pigeon game newcomers tend to struggle with. This is usually due to conflicting information out there. While there is a consensus around certain aspects of feeding in pigeon racing, most top flyers will take a varying approach. There is no one perfect system. In my opinion, you should start with a simple system that focuses on getting the basics right and take it from there. Basic nutritional requirements. The nutritional needs of a racing pigeon are vastly different from those of pet pigeons or wild birds. Stripped down to the fundamentals, they require a diet that includes proteins, fats, carbohydrates, vitamins, and minerals. We'll look more into nutritional ratios later on, but for now let's quickly review what each of these components brings to the table and some dietary sources. Proteins. Proteins are the building blocks of the body and are essential for muscle development and repair as well as maintaining strength and endurance over time. Protein can be obtained from sources like peas, lentils, and beans, or specialized racing pigeon pellets. Feeding. Heavy or light. You will often come across the terms heavy or light feeding. A heavy feed or mix generally consists of more protein than a light feed. When changing from light to heavy or vice versa, it's important that you do not do so too quickly, as this can lead to intestinal problems such as E. coli. Fats. Fats are a concentrated source of energy, providing more than twice the energy of proteins or carbohydrates, and are crucial during the racing season, especially at longer distances. Seeds like sunflower and safflower are excellent sources of fats. Carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are the pigeon's primary energy source for racing and make up the bulk of the diet. They are quickly converted into glycogen, which powers the muscles during flight. Grains like corn, wheat, and rice are rich in carbohydrates. Vitamins and minerals. Vitamins and minerals support essential functions like energy production, immune health, and muscle recovery, and help maintain overall well-being. What to feed and when. Aside from promoting good overall health through correct feeding, we are also aiming to deliver the correct nutrition according to what phase the pigeons are in. Training, racing, recovery, or breeding. Here's a breakdown of the phases and what kind of nutritional intake you should be aiming for, along with some example feeding mixes and suggestions. During training, pigeons require a diet that supports endurance, muscle development, and energy storage. The ideal nutritional ratio typically involves the following: carbohydrates 55 to 65%, proteins 12 to 18%, fats 5 to 10%. During training throughout the week, you could use the following mixes in the morning and evening. Light energy mix. The morning feed is light, focusing on quick, easily digestible energy to keep pigeons light and ready for training flights. 40% barley, 30% wheat, 20% millet or rice, 10% safflower or sunflower seeds. Recovery and energy replenishment mix. The evening feed focuses on replenishing glycogen stores, supporting muscle recovery, and preparing the pigeons for the next day's training. This meal will be higher in carbohydrates and moderate in protein and fats. 40% corn, 25% peas or other legumes, 15% wheat, 10% safflower or sunflower seeds, 10% barley. This two-phase feeding approach ensures they have the energy for training and recover properly afterward. On Saturday, or your designated rest day, switch to a slightly lighter meal with more barley and wheat and less corn to give the pigeons' digestive systems a break. During racing, a pigeon's diet should be fine-tuned to optimize energy, endurance, and recovery. The ideal nutritional ratio leans more towards energy-dense foods, particularly carbohydrates and fats. However, adequate protein is still necessary for muscle repair and recovery, albeit in lower quantities, as it can slow digestion and weigh the pigeons down. The key is to provide high-energy food that fuel flight, while also promoting quick recovery after races. An ideal ratio looks something like this: carbohydrates 60 to 65%, proteins 15 to 20%, fats 5 to 10%. Some choose not to feed anything in the morning before a race. I prefer to give them a very light snack. Wheat is high in carbs without being too heavy, ideal for a light morning meal before races. Light pre-race mix. Provide easily digestible carbohydrates to fuel short-term energy and prevent sluggishness. Composition: 35% wheat, 35% barley, 10% small grains, millet or rice. Recovery: post-race feeding aims to deliver carbohydrates to restore glycogen, protein for muscle repair, and hydration to recover lost electrolytes. Upon returning, pigeons are usually exhausted and need to replenish their energy and hydration levels quickly. Offer a recovery drink, such as an electrolyte solution, as soon as they return to the loft. Within a couple of hours, provide a light, easily digestible snack. This can consist of smaller grains like safflower or millet, which are easier on their digestive system. For the evening meal, offer higher carbohydrates and moderate protein, that is corn 40%, peas 20 to 30% as a base. Main recovery meal: 40% corn, 20% peas, 15% barley, 10% safflower or sunflower seeds, and 5% small grains, millet or rice. On the day after, continue supporting recovery by providing balanced energy, protein, and fat, but slightly scaled back. Next day recovery meal: 35% corn, 20% peas, 20% barley, 10% wheat, 5% safflower seeds, and 5% grit and minerals, with calcium. Ensure fresh, clean water is available at all times. Pigeons drink more water during the recovery phase, especially if they have been exerted for long periods. Continue offering an electrolyte solution in the water for 1 to 2 days post-race to fully restore hydration and lost minerals. Consider adding a water-soluble multivitamin supplement to the water 1 to 2 times per week to boost overall health and aid in recovery.